So I started number 6 already, and I put a lot of the basic information down before I went into the graph. You can see this is not its original form. This is its factored form, but I was able to pull the vertical asymptote and the horizontal asymptote from that. There were no holes. And then I plugged in just to find some intercepts. Those just give me some guidelines to work on. Some problems ask you to do that. Some don't. So here's my coordinate plane. And I'm just going to sketch the asymptotes in just a different color. So I have x equals -4. I'm just estimating where that is. I'll make sure I fill these in. So we'll say 3, 2, 1. And then we have the y asymptote, the horizontal one, which is like right here. Okay. So remember, your graph is not going to touch those. It's going to approach those. So that means we should plug in points like probably -1, -2, -3. And then on the other side of this, just to see what the behavior is, what kind of curves we're working with. So I usually just make an XY chart. Notice I'm not plugging in -4 because that's where the asymptote is. I'm going to try to do some of this work in my head here. When I plug -1 in, I get -1 minus 4, which is -5, over. And when I plug -1 in here, I get -1 plus 4, which is 3, times -4, which is -12. So I have 5/12. For when I plug -2 in, I get -2 minus 4 is -6, over. And when I plug -2 in on the second part, I get 2 times -4 is -8. So I get +3/4. So I am increasing in size there. And then when I plug -3 in, I'm going to anticipate I'm going to go up even more because this is increasing. And as we're approaching the asymptote, we expect the behavior to be consistent. So when I plug -3 in, I get -3 plus 4 is 1 times -4. So I get -7 over -4. That's what that says up there, which is 1 3/4. So that means our graph is going to be -1 5/12, about there, -2 3/4, a little bit higher, and then -3 1. So it's going to do this. Now on the other side of that vertical asymptote, I'm going to plug in -5, -6, and -7. Once again, I'm just going to write a little bit of work. So when I plug -5 in, -4 is -9. And then I have -4 times -5 plus 4 is -1. So I get -9 over +4, which is -2.25. Look at me with my decimals and mixed numbers. You know I don't love those things. And when I plug -6 in, I get -10 over -6 plus 4 is -2. So I get -10 over 8, which is -1 and 1/4. And I'm going to assume that it's going to continue to also, the behavior is going to stay the same, and it's going to go up a little bit more as I'm heading in this direction. When I plug -7 in, I end up with -11 over -7 plus 4 is -3. So I get -11/12. So I'm just going to graph these. So -5, -2.25. I'm going to say that's about here. -6. So it's going to look like this. Okay, go to Desmos if you want a prettier graph, but that's the general behavior of this graph.